Our general manager for the Falcons continues to cook. It's Dukes and Bell on Sports Radio 92.9 The Game. We start off every day and every hour by saying, hey, man. Listen, Mike, Terry Fontenot is having a great offseason. Now, is that going to translate to us winning more than 10 games or 10 games and potentially getting to the playoffs? We will have to wait and see. But the general manager is doing his job as we get the show started today because the news broke a little bit ago about a trade. The Lions trade away a guy that they picked third overall, by the way, Jeff Okudah, third overall to the Falcons for a 2023 fifth-round pick. He's a corner. Mike, we've talked a lot about what we're going to do with the 8th overall pick, and Christian Gonzalez is the guy that a lot of people have targeted us getting with the 8th overall pick. But you just got another guy that can play corner, and if he's healthy, Mike, This is a great pickup.
And if you guys remember the 2020 draft, that was the COVID draft, you and I were working from home on remote, and we were talking about the idea of would we move up to get Okudah. Remember that? We were talking about that because we were kind of in that no man's land, and eventually we couldn't trade out, and we got arguably, we got the best, one of the best corners. Terrell has certainly played better than Okudah because Okudah can't stay healthy. That's going to be the question. A change of address. He's going from indoor field turf to indoor field turf, though, Carl. But here's a guy that was, again, the hands-down number one corner in that draft, but he's missed a ton of games with a ton of injuries.
So here's the benefit, okay? And I need Falcon fans to see this in the right light, all right? We may still pick a corner. We still, right now, and I got to tell you guys, I asked the question on social media, what do you now do with this 8th overall pick? And everybody's going all over the place. Will Anderson, Jalen Carter, if those guys are there. So what you're telling me is we're going to take the best player available, which is what they always tell us, which is not necessarily true. It's based on need.
Right.
But, Mike, the risk-reward, Falcon fans, just put this in your head. The risk, if it doesn't work, you can move on from him, and it's not going to cost you a whole lot of money.
No.
He's still in his rookie contract. We, Falcons, now have the option to pick up his fifth-year option if we want to do it. But the reward is if he's healthy and he can play, now you legitimately have 2 first-round picks at the corners in AJ and Okudah. And if Okudah can stay healthy, then you say, all right, do we want to invest in the future? And, Mike, you know we just signed Jesse Bates. You know our safeties are going to be better. Our secondary is going to have some depth. At the worst, it's going to have some depth.
Now, again, if we could just grab an edge rusher or just because of all the additions we've made that everyone's going to jam out and Calais Campbell can give you one more year of magic. But this is a team which all of a sudden, again, guys, we kind of did it piecemeal. And, I just got to be honest with you. I mean, if you told me that we'd have 2, you just laid it out, number 1 corners, and this dude, again, the big if that he can stay healthy. First-round picks always have an extended shelf life for quarterbacks, for corners, wide receivers, you name it. But this guy, if you go back and remember his tape from Ohio State, I mean, this guy was the dude. So this is all very intriguing. And now, I got to be honest, it opens the door to a myriad of possibilities at 8. Everything from trading up. We've always talked about really, you and I focus on trading down.
Yeah.
Maybe they move up. I don't know. Maybe they stand pat. But again, you can go for the best athlete, and that could be a running back, that could be an edge rusher, that could be an offensive lineman. But now I think we kind of get out of the corner business this draft. Or unless you feel that they're still going to go and draft a corner at 8.
I'll tell you this. It leaves it more wide open than it was just a day ago. All right? The safe pick is still and continues to be Christian Gonzalez. If he's there, it's still a need. You solidify your secondary, and you feel really good about the direction of the defense. But, again, there is a possibility that you could have 2 quarterbacks gone, and you have your choice of the best offensive lineman in Skoransky, the best edge rusher. You could have your choice of the best corner. Now what position helps you the most? And that's kind of where I think we're going to be if we don't move out of 8. I think we're going to be sitting there. We're going to be up. We're going to be on the board, and all of a sudden you're going to say, what position helps us the most? Because we could take the best guy at these positions, and we're going to have to make a decision. I did text Jeff Okudah's agent. I know him. His name's Kevin Connor. He changed agents, by the way, this year, which is kind of funny. And I said, congratulations. He was like, he's motivated. And I said, that's good. Jeff Okudah is motivated, Mike, to show not only can he stay healthy, but he's going to live up to the billing of being the 3rd overall pick in the 2020 draft. He doesn't feel like he's done that. He's played okay, sparingly, but he doesn't feel like he's put a full season together where everybody's like, He's that guy.
Well, he played 9 games his first season, and then he had a core injury, which required some surgery. And then he blows out his Achilles the first week of his second year, 2021. And then last year he plays 15 games, he gets a pick. When he's played, he's had at least 1 pick. But he's a tremendous athlete. If you go back and think about, we spent a lot of time that draft talking about, would you trade up? Would we think about moving up to get that guy? It was one of those conversations we were having. So just to cure, I mean, again, there's been some guys. Now, let's be honest. If you were going to, just off the top of your head, say guys that were first-round picks who wind up with a second team inside of 5 years, what's the success rate? It's not high. It's not. So, I mean, we're talking about Rashaan Evans didn't get re-signed here, for instance, right? First-round pick. So I'm not trying to pee on this thing.
And Rashaan had a good year.
I like them being aggressive with this move, but I just think you got to temper your expectations because rarely does a guy who's a first-round pick in the second act in the first 5 all of a sudden pop. So let's hope he does. Let's hope he gets change of address sometimes to what you need.